Hi, I'm Eric Lanask. We're here in New York at this year's Telecom Exchange event. I'm talking with Philippe Alvarez from Axiom. Philippe, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Glad to have you.
Thank you for the invite. Thank you.
So, Axiom Fiber is a relatively new company. Tell me a little bit about who you are, what do you do, and how did the business come about?
Yes, we're fairly brand new. Launched the brand mid-January of this year, but we've been busy laying fiber in. Our business is infrastructure for telecom service providers, focusing on dark fiber and custom solutions in the New York City area. But the company may have been launched in January, but we've been laying fiber in since October last year. We have about 8 miles of fiber, high dense count fiber in New York City. And the latest thing we've done is interconnect all 7 major carrier hotels. They'll be fully operational in August of this year, so we'll be able to offer services there. And from there, we're building out the rest of the network into Midtown Manhattan, as well as going south towards the financial sector.
Fantastic. Very quick, very exciting progress. Certainly not a market that you're alone in. It seems to be becoming more crowded. What is it that sets Axiom apart in this market?
The key thing is service focus, and that means a lot of things. It means the fact that we have a managed dark fiber service. This is not, here's your fiber, take it, use it, and then call us when there's a problem. We actively monitor the cables. We provide a full NOC 24/7 service to do that. We have information systems that are being deployed to keep track of where the fiber is, so not only us, but the customer itself, the buyer, will be able to tell where the fiber is from a GIS real-time based perspective. And the other side of service for us is really focused on business flexibility. So service is not only about service, it's also about how flexible are we in delivering a business condition to meet a customer requirement. That's lacking in the marketplace. You know, there's a dearth of flexibility. You know, there's a lot of the incumbents are saying, here's the fiber, here's the price point, take it or leave it. We're not about that. We're about flexing our services to meet the demands of the customer, and if we can meet it, great. If not, we'll be upfront, saying, you know, it's not, this deal is not for us. And the last thing is we're completely neutral. We're not offering lit services. So it's a pure dark fiber play. So we're not going into, you're not getting us into your building, paying for our service to go in there, and then we're selling lit services to compete against yours.
So you talked about the idea of a managed network being something, one of the things that differentiates you in the market as being a market need. Are there other needs or gaps in the market that you see?
Yes, I mean, one of the main reasons why we got into the business is not only because we saw the service issues and the service challenge of the incumbents, but also if you think about the demand base that's upcoming based on wireless, whether it's wireless or wireline, if you will, the deployment of small cell wireless architectures, which is starting to emerge, will require a significant amount of fiber, much more than is available, and delivered in a way that is not available today. A lot of the networks in place now for dark fiber are based on old architectures. Ours is brand new. We still have to run it through the streets. We still have to do some of the basic things to get it up and running. But being essentially a virgin network, we can actually distribute the fiber in more efficient ways and to build to suit, you know, versus taking an old existing network and reconfiguring that to do something that it wasn't meant to do.
How big of an opportunity do you see the small cell market for Axiom?
Significant. You know, the large chunk of the business over the next 3 years will come from that. A small cell deployment, I've heard numbers in terms of like tens of thousands of small cell deployments in Manhattan and New York City, right? But in Manhattan alone, each one of those small cell sites, I mean, will require fiber. Are we going to get all of it? I'd like to say yes. The reality is we're not. But if we get a significant amount of that, or even a percentage of that, I mean, it kind of fills part of the business model we have. The other aspect of it is that there's a significant amount of emerging alternative providers of services that compete against Zaos and Light Towers and other incumbent type companies. We're enabling them. So we're increasing the amount of competitive alternatives, you know, for SMBs, let's say, mid-sized to smaller consumers out there, which is going to help New York City also achieve its plan of driving broadband deeper to the population.
Beyond, excuse me, beyond that, what else do you see in the near future for you?
Expansion. Not only of what's called densifying the existing network, the backbone network in Manhattan. That means driving fiber through laterals, probably within a block of any location south of 59th Street to start with. We're also looking at customer-driven demand expansion, right, into places like Northern Jersey, Brooklyn. We're going through that assessment process now. But very shortly after we complete at least the initial phase in Manhattan, I think you'll see us announcing other expansion into, again, demand-driven primarily.
We've talked about it being a fairly crowded market. You've referenced the incumbents in the space several times. What is it that gives a newcomer to the market an advantage over some of those incumbents?
Being new. Just by essence of being new, you get some attraction. People are looking for alternatives, non-competing alternatives. The other part of it is the right new entrant, like we are, with a focus on service, with a focus on essentially meeting customer needs rather than the customer having to adapt to our structure and our business, not only business but also service structure. And a new player with a significant amount of experience in doing this. This is my third build, the last 15 years in the same geography, which does two things. Interesting that we have the experience to do it, me and my team. The other part of it is that the demand for fiber in New York City apparently hasn't gone away, because this is my third time in 15 years. So, so I think it bodes well.
Well, certainly there's experience speaks well for itself. Philippe, thank you very much for joining me. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.